guys, my name is Jasmine. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing my personal perspective, as well as partially my husband's perspective on why we chose not to have a wedding. Now, many of people in our lives did want us to have a wedding. They want us to have some sort of little shindig of some sort. That was not in the cards, because that's not what we wanted. When it comes to family, friends, associates, so many people were wondering, why aren't you guys having a wedding? Not gonna lie, I really wanted to tell them it's none of their business. But I know some people I did share exactly why it was what it was. But today I wanted to actually give you guys a perspective where it's layers to why we did not want to have a wedding. So firstly, I just wanted to mention both of us have been in a wedding. My husband had been in, I think, 2 weddings, and I had been in 1. I was in my sister's wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. Absolutely stunning. It was a lot of fun. Had a great time. But when I tell you, there was a lot that went on behind the scenes. And even with the weddings that my husband was in, there was a lot that went on behind the scenes. There was a lot of drama, a lot of stress, a lot of just different aspects that we personally did not want to go through, and seeing our friends as well as seeing my sister go through different things. All it really did was validate the fact that I did not want to have a wedding. There was also the factor that personally, I don't like being the center of attention unless it's with karaoke or dancing. That's the only time I want you to look at me. Now, if you're telling me you want me to get up there, walk down the aisle in a dress, knowing I'm freaking clumsy and I got all these eyes on me, knowing I'm probably gonna bust my ass, and somebody gonna catch it on tape, I don't have time for it. I truly do not have time for those little escapades. And then it's also, again, because I don't really like people looking at me, I get social anxiety really bad. I have really bad social anxiety when it comes to situations, specifically situations that I am uncomfortable in, because I know I would have been uncomfortable the whole time. And a lot of you guys may not understand this, but I would have not liked the repetitiveness of it all.
Congratulations, thank you.
Congratulations, thank you.
Congratulations, thank you.
I'm so happy for you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've seen other people go through it at their weddings, and something about that just makes me anxious and also drains me. Very much drains me, because keep in mind, my husband and I, we are both introverts, okay? We are both people that like to keep to ourselves. We don't like doing too much. We don't really like all the, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word that I'm thinking of.
Don't you just hate that when you can't think of the word?
But it's right there. It's like on the tip, on the cusp of the lip. What is it? We don't like, it's not attention, but it's like we don't like all the fuss, I guess. I'll just use that word. It would have been very much overwhelming. I know the stress of it would have been a lot as well, because man, when I tell you the ripping and running, the making sure that everything is right, the concern if everything is going to be right, the worrying about the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, the mothers of the bride, the fathers of the bride, just the overall concerns of, is everything going to be perfect for our special day? As well as the cost. The cost was very important, I must say. I've seen people spend lots of money. I've seen people take out loans for weddings. I will not knock anybody who has a wedding. If that is something that you dream of, if that is something that you want to do, that's you. You go for it. You have that special day. Me, personally, I could not have imagined spending a ton of money on one day. I'm sorry, somebody just pisses me off. And if you guys don't know, if you're new here, I'm a cheap woman. I'm very frugal. I don't like spending a whole bunch of money, especially if it's on one day. Now, if you told me I could spend that money on a trip, on a honeymoon, bet. I vibes with it. Because not only am I going somewhere new, but I'm going to be eating good. I'm going to be experiencing new things with my husband. I have a husband. The vibes are going to be different because it's an experience, but to actually look me in my face and be like,
Why don't you want to have a wedding?
And you telling me I'm going to have to spend $10,000 plus on one day? Not even 24 hours.
Probably 3 hours.
3 or 4 hours. $10,000. Listen, that's not me. Because one thing about me, I'm low maintenance, okay? And nothing against any women that are high maintenance. If that's your gig, that's your gig. Get it, sis, you know? Again, if that is something that you want for you, if that's something you did have for you, I'm happy for you. As long as you were happy with that special day that you had, great. As long as you can look back on it and feel content with that, that's great. But for me and mine and my husband, no. I know he asked me,
do you want to have a wedding, you know?
And I'm like, listen, we could do the courthouse. And that's a whole other story in itself. Like, I feel like I'm gonna probably make a video about that. The whole courthouse situation was a complete debacle. But all I'm gonna say is you need to know your options. And again, I'm going to come out with a video about that because in the event of living in Michigan and the area that I lived in, it was a complete S show. But when it comes to the expenses of having a wedding, you have to pay for the location, potentially whoever is going to ordain the wedding if you are not a member of the church. You have to pay for the dresses, your hair done, to get your nails done, to get your makeup done. The groomsmen need to have their suits, their shoes, haircuts, whatever. A limo, if you're gonna have a limo, you have to pay for the food. The food is very expensive. You have to pay for the placement, the decorations of it all, the flowers, the DJ, photographer, videographer. It's just a lot of things you have to pay for. A lot of things you have to think about. A wedding planner, if you have one. To me, the cost of it all was not something that I personally wanted to do. I know I asked my husband too. I was like, are you okay with not having a wedding? I assume you're similar to me, but I just want to ask because I don't want to step over your toes if this is something you want. He was like, nah, I'm completely okay with not doing it because that saved me money. And agreed. I know people do it, but that's not me. There was also the issue of other people's opinions. That was a big one. Opinions about different things. And this is something that I saw happen with every wedding that both my husband and I were in, as well as every wedding we've actually been to. And we were friends with the people that were getting married. When I tell you, bro, a lot of times opinions be unwarranted and people will say stuff out of pocket. Or people will say things selfishly like it's their wedding. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I probably would have cut somebody off. I definitely probably would have cut somebody off within that time frame. Because I know how I am. Now that I am older, I am very much more outspoken now. I feel like for the most part, people respect when I say something or speak on something because I rarely do speak on things, but people respect when I'm like, I'm not doing that or I'm gonna do this. Now, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were coming at me like,
why aren't you having a wedding? You want to do this? We'll help you pay for it.
No, because I know people are going to try to take over what I said what I said.
And I knew it would have been a problem.
I knew it would have been a problem. People always say it's your day. People say that. But when you are actually planning and going through the details of it all, opinions will fly. People will share their thoughts. And people will overstep their boundaries. Even though the boundaries should already be there. You should be able to respect the person's decision because they are the bride, because they are the groom. You know what I mean? But people will overstep. Just saying, people will overstep because I've seen it so many times and I just wanted to avoid the stress. Like, I did not want to be stressed out on a day that's supposed to be happy and about me and my man. The discomfort of the clothes. I went a completely different route. I'll post a video coming up really soon about what I wore to my wedding, but it was very comfortable. You were not going to catch me in a completely formal gown because that's not my thing. I did not want no fancy dress. Don't get me wrong, I saw some of the most gorgeous dresses, but one day, again, I'm wearing this for one day. I'm sorry. That's literally what gets me every time because I'm just like, bro, you telling me you want me to spend a whole bunch of money on a dress I'm only gonna wear once? No. And I want to be comfortable. I wanted to be comfortable when I was standing up there saying my vows. I was doing what I was doing, celebrating and everything. I did not want to be in some dress where I need to be wearing shapewear because I need to be snatched. or like I have to have on a special bra, or I have to wear uncomfortable shoes. I did not want to be in a situation like that. So there's also the issue that if I did have a wedding, if my husband and I did choose to have a wedding, we would have been inviting people that we probably were not close to. Because I know if we would have had a wedding, some people would have wanted to be invited, and we probably would have had to invite them just out of courtesy. And if we didn't, it would have been a problem. I'm not going to say closed in person, but I keep myself surrounded with select few. There are not that many people where I'm like, you need to be around. I've always been a person where I'm like, okay, if you were around my husband and I throughout our relationship, that makes sense. But if you were not present, you don't really need an invite. That's how I see it. If you are not around, to be honest, you probably aren't that close to me. And for the most part, a lot of people don't really know me like that. I don't really share that much about myself. Y'all may be surprised. I know a lot of people are when I talk about this in different videos, because I did talk about how I'm a quiet individual or shy per se, or people perceive me as such. And this is YouTube. I share my thoughts and opinions, and I share my hobbies on here because it's fun for me. But in real life, in reality, babes, I don't want nobody in my business. I do not want nobody in my business. I don't want nobody that had no opinions about what I got going on. Because one, you ain't close to me. Why do you need to know what's going on with me? Why do you need to be a part of a wedding when I haven't seen you in forever? When you don't check up on me. When you don't check up on my husband. Why do you need to be there? And I know this sounds so bad, but people be like,
oh, people are family.
People are family.
Babes. Family. Okay, but at the same time, if we don't naturally interact, I'm kind of like, I'm literally just inviting you to be another body. Or for you to potentially bring a gift, if you're gonna bring a gift. And I've never been a type of person where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just invite somebody for some gifts. No. Because one thing, people will throw stuff in your face, or people just want to come to see what you got going on, to be nosy, which is another reason why I didn't want to have a wedding. People just want to be nosy in your business. They want to see who you marrying. They want to critique what you wearing. Critique your food that you got. Talk about like your decorations.
I wouldn't have did my wedding like that.
People can be catty. I was just like, I'm not about to deal with this. And people could say people are not like that, but I watch people. Like I said, I am quiet. I observe people. And because I observe people, I know how people move. People may make these statements like, no, they're not like that. I've seen them do it. I've seen them act a certain way in recent times. And yeah, you could be like, well, it's you. It's like, it don't matter. It don't matter. Even if it is me, it really don't matter. I'm gonna just protect our peace as it is and keep my mental headspace clear, where I can go through with things where I feel good about things and where my husband can feel good about things. I do not want to be in a situation where I feel compromised, uncomfortable, anxious, or where I feel like I gotta cuss somebody out. Listen, that's just how it is. Like, some people may see it as being selfish, but you should be selfish with your special day. You should be selfish with this day in your life, because this is one important day that you will have with your person. Now, I'm gonna tell you though, right now, if I was dating somebody else and they told me they wanted a big wedding, I would have took that as a red flag. They not the one for me. Especially because they would have to know how I am, so I would be hella uncomfortable. And you want me to take this important day of my life and to be at this big wedding. That's for both of us. Even though none of this has to do with me. This is really just about you having a big wedding and showing off. That would not be my person. It really would not be, because I wouldn't be happy. That's why I'm really thankful that my husband, I feel like if I had wanted a big wedding, he would have been like, okay, let's do it. But I know how he is as well. And I know how he can get stressed as well when it comes to the different aspects of different things. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm so thankful you do not want to do this, because that would have not been me. It's just like when it came to the wedding proposal, I looked that man dead in his face years before I knew he was going to propose or whatever. He had told me that he knew I was going to be his wife, but I told him, you could propose to me. I'm going to say yes, but whatever you do, do not do no surprise stuff where my family and friends are gonna be around me. Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not me. If somebody would have did that to me, I would have been like,
You do not know me at all.
I am not the woman for you because you do not know me at all. And you like performances. And again, not to say that it is a performance for anybody who does that, because some people actually like stuff like that. They like being surrounded by family and friends, and that's cool if you like stuff like that. But for me, I am very much a person that is about intimacy, that is about privacy, that is about doing things within the comfort of me and the person I'm with. I don't like big stuff like that. I don't like stuff with a lot of viewing. I don't like stuff with a lot of people. That's not me. Whenever I explain this, sometimes people don't really get it. And I do feel like it's more so because they're different from me. And there's nothing wrong with that. If I say I don't like it, I don't like it. And I'm not changing my mind. And I feel like people really will try to change my mind about some things, but I said what I said. And just because I'm reserved and I keep to myself does not mean I'm going to change my mind and do what you want me to do. If I say I don't want something, I do not want it. And it is what it is. What I have going on with my life should not affect somebody else. That's my whole thing. If I want this and my husband wants this, that should be what it is. It shouldn't be anything too extensive where I have to worry about other people's opinions. Because again, this is about us. This ain't about everybody else on the outside. And I know people will be like,
Oh, what about the family?
You know the family wants to see it.
you can see us after. Again, you will see us, but you don't have to be there. I don't know if people have this issue with inclusion or like they feel the need to be included. You will be included after. You don't have to be included right then and there. Because this ain't about y'all. People will be like,
And no, it's not about us, but what about the family?
no. See, that's exactly your problem. You worry about everybody else. You're not even worried about us. But some people don't get it. Actually, my friend who ordained the wedding for us, she was explaining to us that she was really glad that we chose to do a route that we actually wanted to take, because so many people do end up feeling pressured to having a wedding even though they want something small, and it's very stressful. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who potentially wanted to go the smaller route, and they were kind of, I want to even say, bullied into doing something a bit more bigger. And don't get me wrong, the end result probably was amazing. But at the same time, one thing about me, no one's going to pressure me into doing a dang thing. Not at this age. I am in my 30s. And I feel like that's something I appreciate about myself. Because when I was younger, I'm not going to say I conformed, but I will say I felt the pressures of things. And then as I got older, I developed my own sense of self. I developed the concept of who I am and what I wanted and what I didn't want. Now that I'm older, I don't ever want to be put in a position where I feel pressured, and then within me being pressured, I feel anxiety, I feel stressed, I feel uncomfortable. I'm overwhelmed because I can't be me and I can't do me. But again, some people just do not get it, and some people are thinking about it from a perspective of tradition or a perspective of, I don't want to say normalcy, but just the concept that this is something what people do, and they feel like because it's what people normally would do, that's what everybody should do. One thing about me, I'm not very conservative. I am very much a different out of the box kind of gal. Not too out of the box, but I handle things much differently than the way other people would. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the way that I operate when it comes to certain things or different things. But I'm also okay with other people doing things the way that they want to do, because again, that's not my business. You do whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you and whoever your significant other is. Y'all do and move the way y'all want to move, because it's your life and you only get one life. Be happy living for you. But I feel like other people don't understand that or don't get it. So, but yeah, that's why we chose to have a small wedding with 2 people. And yeah, so I'll have a playlist up through the wedding aspect where I talk about different topics within the wedding. I should have some videos up by the time this video goes out, but yeah, make sure you guys check out my other videos if you want to watch that, my chit chat discussion videos. I talk about a lot of different stuff on this channel over here, so make sure you guys check those out, and I'll be seeing you guys again soon. So stay blessed, stay positive. Bye.